Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm doing a reading vlog on The Selection by Kiera Cass. This is a book that I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on. Some people either really hate this book or they really love this book, and I think this can be easily classified as one of those trashy reads. Like, you know, when you're not in the mood for a serious book, you're just in the mood for something kind of light and just trashy. Currently reading it on ebook, and I was just curious to know my thoughts on it. I was in the mood for, you know, a trashy kind of read. So if you don't know what this book is about, it is set in this here dystopian society. The class system is divided into categories, kind of like in the Hunger Games. You have the ones and the twos. They are like rich, they're popular, they have everything. And you got like the threes and fours. They're also like, there's probably like the middle class possibly, and then you get like 5, 6, 7, and 8. 5, 6 are probably like near poor, and then you get like the 8s and 9s or whatever, and they're like the poorest of the poor. So the higher up you're on the list, the better off you are. So we have this here young girl, I guess she's like probably later teen years. I actually can't remember her age, but there's this event called The Selection where girls between whatever ages get selected from each territory to be sent to the capital to do this kind of pageant thing where they gotta win over the heart of the prince, and eventually one day they will become queen. And once you are a part of this here selection, and you know, if you get chosen, then you're automatically, your status goes up, so you're automatically up to like a 1 or a 2, and if you get married to the prince, obviously your whole family becomes elevated to that level with you. So this society is quite terrible. There are certain things they can't do. There's a lot of restrictive rules. This is also a YA book, so I'm expecting a whole lot of tropes, and I have actually already, I started reading it last night. I'm 24% in the book right now, so we're already at the part where she's like got selected and she's going off to the capital. That's as far as I got to. I do have some notes in this. I won't try to make this review spoilery because I know a lot of people don't like that. If you want to see me do reviews, like reading vlogs like this, where I do include a lot of spoilers, then like let me know, because I can do that. But I do have quite a few notes. So the first problem I have with this book is the main character's name. Her name is America Singer. I'm guessing that this society is based in a dystopian America. So yeah, the state or territory or whatever that they live in is called Carolina. So Carolina, I automatically think the States. So I'm guessing this is kind of based in the States if it was like a dystopian future. Obviously her name America I think is tacky and really dumb. I'm sorry if your name is America, but I just think it's kind of it's a weird name. And then her last name is Singer, and guess what? She's a singer. Her family is like an artist. Her dad's like a painter or whatever. Her mother is a singer and she plays a whole lot of instruments. So yeah, not a very original name, and I think it's kind of a lazy name to have for a character. I really don't like it. Also, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but it probably is. When she goes into the selection, there's like a set of rules and you can't lie on them and whatnot, and she lies about her secret boyfriend, which they kind of got before she goes into the selection or whatever, and yeah. I just thought it was kind of cliche, and like he's a system or like a class below her and they want to get married and all this, but like it's probably not going to happen. And also this book, just reading just a few chapters, there's just one part where, I mean, obviously the pageant in and of itself is kind of sexist and disgusting, and it's just the one part where the prince is, an interviewer is asking him what his perfect girl would be, and he says, honestly, I don't know. I think that's the beauty of the selection. No woman who enter will be exactly the same, not in looks or preferences or disposition, and through the process of meeting them and talking to them, I'm hoping to discover what I want and to find it along the way. So of course, women exist to please men and serve a man, and it's just makes me want to gag. Oh, and also the selection is rigged. There's like 2 cringy names that I've already came across in the first 24% of this book, and the next one is called King Clarkson. When I think Clarkson, I think Kelly Clarkson, and I just think it's so freaking cringy. Why couldn't you think of an original name? It's supposed to be a dystopian society, so why? And it's weird. It's a dystopian society, and this kingdom has like a weird name that I probably can't pronounce. And all the other characters' names that I came across were kind of like unique and like not normal. Like they're not an everyday name. And yet her name is America Singer, the most cheesiest name you can have. And then we have a king called King Clarkson. It just makes no sense to me at all that the name of the king would be King Clarkson. Oh, and also when she enters the selection and when she gets selected, she is now considered property of the kingdom and the king. So that ain't super creepy at all. Those are pretty much all the notes I have on this so far. Basically, yeah, the story is cliche, it's cringy, but it's not enough right now to make me want to DNF it or anything. And I am interested to see where the book is going to go. Like, I just know there's going to be a love triangle of some sort, and like some crap is gonna go down, but I don't know what's going to happen next. I managed to get halfway through this book so far. I have to say I'm actually pretty surprised. I am enjoying the book. I thought going into this that the writing was just gonna be terrible and cheesy and just like unbearable, but it hasn't been that bad. I mean, is it the best writing I've ever read? Absolutely not. But it's enjoyable. The writing itself doesn't distract from the story. And the characters aren't so annoying. There's just, it's YA, and when I read YA, I expect things to be tropey and cheesy, and it's exactly that. The main character, America Singer, she's got that there I'm not like other girls trope going on. When we see her enter the selection, and when she goes to get her makeover done, she doesn't really change her hair. She doesn't get a whole lot of makeup. She doesn't even paint her nails. And she keeps her clothing very plain and simple because she's not like other girls. Although she doesn't blatantly say it, you can see that that's the trope they're running with her. And yeah, I mean, I kind of hate that trope because what's wrong with just being a normal girl? You don't have to be not like other girls. Like, it just, yeah. So far, the story isn't awful. It's kind of slow. Like, I expected a lot more drama so far. Like, I'm expecting some of these girls to get in, like, cat fights and fighting over the prince and crap, and it's not happening. I'm kind of disappointed. But, I mean, it has to happen at some point. I kind of predict that America's boyfriend from home, Aspen, I think his name is gonna come into the picture at some point. Something's gonna happen with her and him at some point in this story, but I don't know what it is yet. but I can feel it's gonna happen. So yeah, I have my hunches for where the story is going and what's going to happen, and I'm enjoying reading it. But like, I mean, at this point I'd probably rate it a 3-star. It's not anything spectacular. I've certainly read books with worse writing, and this honestly, it feels like a story that's been written on Wattpad. Which there's nothing wrong with that, it's just, it's that kind of writing. It's cliched, and I guess if you're looking for that sort of thing, then it's great. It's perfect for what I'm in the mood for at the moment, so I don't mind it too much. I guess I'll probably just update you when I'm like 70% into the book, you know, almost done with it kind of thing, and we'll see how I feel then. One thing I will note is that the new country that's formed in this dystopian world is, I think, like a mishmash of both the US and Canada, which I was kind of surprised about. Usually when a book is like written, you don't really hear much about Canada. I don't know, we're kind of left out of North America half the time. If that makes any sense, but like usually everything's so America focused and like Canada's left out of the picture. So I was actually surprised that this country was comprised of both Canada and the US. Hello friends, it is now nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm 75% through this book, and if I don't fall asleep, I feel like I can finish this book tonight. I feel like through the middle, the book is getting, it's like it's slow. The beginning of the book was pretty good, it was well paced, we were learning some stuff. The middle of the book is basically just America and Maxon getting to know one another, Maxon going on dates with the other girls, and just other girls getting sent home and that kind of thing. And it's like there's not a whole lot exciting that's happening. I feel like the end's gonna be bang bang boom. There's gonna be pretty big ending. I have a feeling that's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, so far it's good. I mean, this book overwhelmingly reads like something written on Wattpad, and I can't get the feeling out of my head that I feel like I have gone back to 2013 and I'm reading books on Wattpad. You know, if you're into that, it's fine. I mean, I went through a phase where all I read was Wattpad, so that's fine. I mean, I liked plenty of Wattpad books. This would be like a really good Wattpad book in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it's enjoyable, but it's like dragging on a little in the middle, so I'm hoping that it starts to pick up. Like, I want more drama between the girls. Like, I want some cattiness, which we have seen like a little bit of, but I just want more cattiness. I mean, so far it's okay. My opinion of it hasn't changed at all yet, so again, we're gonna have to wait for the ending to see if that will actually change. I finished Selection last night, but I was too tired to talk about it, and I wanted to wait a little bit until I kind of had my final thoughts about the book kind of sorted out. I'm kind of disappointed with the ending. I feel like not a whole lot happened. There was like a rebel raid kind of thing going on in the palace, and then what's her name, America and Aspen got together, they broke up, and then blah blah blah. America and Maxon confessed their love to each other and all this kind of stuff, and just, it's like, it was the most uneventful ending in a book I've read in a while. Like, not a whole lot happened, and we don't even know who has won. Like, you have to wait to find out who has actually won the prince's hand until you read the next book, which to me, kind of annoying. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on this book. Is it a good book? Is it a bad book? Is it a great book? I don't think this is a great book. I think this is a book that I would have read on Wattpad in 2013 and absolutely loved it then, But for now, like at this point in time, this is a book that is totally enjoyable to read, and it's quite entertaining, but it just barely makes the mark for being what I would consider a good book. Like, if I were to judge it based on the writing alone, it would not be a 3-star. It would probably be a 2-star. But I did enjoy myself, so my rating of this book is probably going to be like a 3-star, probably a 2.75 star, because I still just don't really want to give it a 3-star. I feel like some of the character names were terrible, especially America. Her name is just so cheesy. And King Clarkson, his name is just really cheesy and stupid. I think that's just a stupid name for a king, in my opinion. I also just thought that the book dragged on and on and on and on. It just went on forever without a whole lot happening. I feel like there could have been more drama between the girls, because I went in thinking it was gonna be an all-on cat fight, and it was gonna be like a crap ton of drama, and you know, hearts would be broken in, blah blah blah. But it's just, it felt it dragged on for too long, and it should have just been from start to finish all the girls. We should have known by the end of the book who was the prince's chosen one, because that's what I thought was going to happen going into this book, until I got finished reading it and discovered, no, you have to read like 2 more books, I think it is, until you actually know who the prince chooses, which, I mean, it's not that hard to figure out who's going to be. Oh, no. It's not until the 3rd book that she decides who she's going to go with, if she's going to go with her ex-boyfriend, Aspen, or the prince. So that's kind of annoying. I don't want to read. I don't know if I want to read 3 books to know who she's going to be with, because, I mean, come on, we already know. You can tell the way this story is set up from the beginning that she's going to end up with the prince anyways. I don't know how I feel about the series. Again, it feels like a book that was written on Wattpad, and that's like my biggest issue with it, because the writing is just so juvenile. It's not even good writing. I feel, honestly, it takes me back to the time when I read books on Wattpad. It's exactly what I feel like while reading this book. I don't feel like this book is any one writer's unique voice. I feel like it's just so generically written that it's not a like, you can't tell whether this is a Kiera Cass book between any one book written on Wattpad kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's what it feels like, and it's like not a whole lot special, unfortunately. Of course I was engaged while reading this book, but I think the plot just really dragged for quite a while, and I felt like nothing happened. Like, nothing really big happened. Yeah, they get together, they end up having feelings for each other, and then her ex-boyfriend comes in the picture, which I predicted was going to happen, and it happened. So that's not at all surprising. And then, yeah, the ending was just unsatisfactory for me, and honestly, would I continue with the series? I think if these books did come on sale on ebook, like, I wouldn't get these in physical form and read them, then I would probably read the 2nd, 3rd, maybe even 4th and 5th book, maybe even the short stories, depending on how much I enjoyed this. But honestly, right now, I'm feeling like, no, you don't need to continue with this. There are so many other books that you want to read that are going to be a lot better. My reading this series depends on if I will ever be in the mood to read this type of book again. Right now, I can spend my time reading books that are more, I don't want to sound pretentious by saying this, but more mature and more not so simple and juvenile, because I feel like I am I've outgrown these types of books a little bit. And that's kind of how I feel with a lot of YA nowadays. It's hard for me to find a YA book that I can really fall in love with, because I feel like I just don't connect with them, and I just feel like they're just too juvenile for me to read, and it's just, yeah. Basically, I feel like if you're going to read this book, it depends on what your reading preferences are. If you typically don't like any YA at all, and you prefer characters who are a bit more mature, have a little bit more depth to them, then this isn't going to be the book for you. I feel like these characters have traits that are very surface and very shallow, and they're not well developed. They just have like, oh, she's America's singer, she's also a singer, she's also has a big family, blah blah blah. Like there's not a lot of growth. It's just purely plot driven, and even then the plot is very weak. You know, this could be a book that would be really good if it was written better. I think that if the plot was stronger and if it was more fast-paced, if there was more drama, then this could have been a darn good book, but it's not. It's just kind of fell flat for me. So yeah, I think my overall rating of this would probably be a 2.75 star. I'm not even gonna give it a 3, because I mean, it was enjoyable, but like the writing and the characters and stuff, like just overall it's not anything special. It's not anything that I would ever reread, and I honestly doubt I will ever read the rest of the series, but if I do, I will let you guys know, because I'll probably be making a video on it because it is such a popular series. So yeah, I think that's pretty much my final thoughts on this. I would love to know what you guys thought of the selection. I mean, I feel like if I was 16 years old and reading this book, this is something I would have absolutely loved. But I'm almost 24 now, and it's just not something that I really like. And now I'm a bit worried, because I bought another book of Kiera Cass's, The Siren. I love mermaids and sirens and stuff, and so with fantasy I'll read. And I saw it, I read a sample, I really like that, so I'm hoping that book won't be as juvenile as what this is. I hope you at least enjoyed this vlog. If you did, please let me know. You can go ahead and check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads. I'll have all those linked in the description below, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.